Hello and welcome everyone! Yeah, because I copied over my 101 room build, I copied it over to Hyrule. Yeah, I destroyed it and then I came up with an idea how to fill it. And so I came up with like miniature versions of the Explorer's Shores, or I like to call them Material Islands. So, let's take a little look. So, here we got Soggy, Skerry, Blossom Bay, Iridescent Island, Sunny Sands, Rimey, Reef, Laguna, Perfuma, Cay, the Defiled Isle, and the Unholy Holm. Everything in one big build. So, why did I do that? Because I wanted to show you all the items which you can find on those islands. And I also have put them all in the chest, so I can give you a little overview what you can find. And also all the drops from the super strong enemies on those islands. I think we'll start with Soggy, Skerry. I think I'll go through them quickly, and after that we'll take a look at the chests and we'll take a look at the items the super strong enemies drop, the mini bosses. Oh, and before we start, I started a second channel which is called Benny Lernt, which is German for Benny Learns, and it's about me in real life learning stuff which you normally would like to do but never get the chance to do it in the end. But I just went for it and tried different things. So the first video will be about me riding a horse. The second one will be about karate. Yeah, give it a look. It's very entertaining. And if I say so myself, also pretty funny. And make sure to like this video if it's helpful for you. And I also try to recreate the areas where you can find those specific items in. So, for example, near those trees you can find those glow drops and those fiddle something. You also can find some poop. Yeah, and all the crops are also displayed here. So, that's Soggy, Skerry. Now we are at Blossom Bay. That was a quick trip. So here you got all the special flowers. Those are pretty rare. And those also. It's a blossoming shrub. Sugarcane, strawberries, tomatoes, and cabbage. And you can find those blue flowers on top of those mountains. And of course you can also find those cherry blossom trees there. But they are pretty rare. On to Iridescent Island. Yeah, here we got this jiggly cheeky stuff. So many different rock types, like this massive rock pile, the lava stone, and many ores, and also two types of dyes, green and red. So here we have copper, coal, gold, silver, synethium, and ruby. And we have a coffee plant. On to Sunny Sands. Yeah, there are quite a few blocks I can recommend, like especially the stony soil. Yeah, if you have plant growth on and you made some pathways through grass, this won't be overgrown, not like the typical earth. Yeah, then we also have this stilt stone, also pretty rare. Bananas, very rare. And here you can see what the inside of the caves look like. So first floor, second, third. There you can also find white dye and blue dye. Fourth, and the last one. Yeah, underneath those little pyramids, which you can find on the most bottom floor, you can find mithril and diamonds. Both of them have like a 33% chance to be under those pyramids. And of course we got some corn and some chili peppers. On to Rimey Reef. Yeah, here we have the special tree, which gives off the smoke effect, which you can maybe use to make some smoke effect for yourself. And there you also find those hot springs on top of those mountains. Very hot water. Perfect. Yeah, and you can find potatoes near those blood-drenched battlefields, and the spring onions, or leeks. Then you can find the yellow dye and the pink dye. On to Laguna Perfuma. Yeah, this is like the flower island. Here you can find many different flowers. For example, the purple one and the black one. You can only find here. And the roses and the wisterias. And also the cotton plant, which is also pretty rare. Then you have the crops, like the honey melon, the wasabi or heatroot, and the butter beans. And you'll also find those bigger shrubs on top of those little hills inside the lake. And you can find those little tree-looking things, where you can find some big piles of leaves and smaller leaves. On to Cay. Yeah, there we have many things underwater. Who would have thought? Yeah, on land you can find these things, and I think also small rocks. But can find them on many islands. Yeah, you can find like all the corals in every color. Then the seagrass, those seashells, and those capsized crates. And if you swim deep inside the holes, you will find either a pile of obsidian with gold or with ruby. And this is the best place to farm ruby in the game. On to the Defiled Isle. Here you can find the poison water, and inside you'll find orichalcum, which is one of the most rarest ores in the game. And if you don't know already, there's a little trick. You go inside the settings and turn off seawater through glass. And then you put some connecting windows right next to it. And then you can see all the orichalcum which is inside the poisonous lakes. And this is also where you find magnetite. So this stuff will enable you to build all the things I showed you in my last video. You can find a cave over here, pretty close to the top, and there you can learn all the recipes for it. And you also have some other rarer blocks, like those spiky stones and those little stone pebbles. And this one, the bone stone. You will find it on top of those mountains at some spots, pretty close to those flowers. They look pretty neat, maybe for a graveyard or something. And on to the last but not least island, which is called the Unholy Holm. Yeah, this is more likely like an item collection on this island. Not really like organic looking stuff. Those flowers maybe. So you can find all of those on top of those mountains and the floating rocks. Those huge and giant items. This is the biggest item in the game. Then inside the plasma lakes you can find those glowing eyeballs and those wings. And on those fields you can find those giant teeth. And on floating platforms underneath you'll find the last two remaining of those vines. Viney tentacles. Blech. So, but let's get on with Soggy, Skerry and all the items which you can find. So here you can see all the blocks. So at some points you can also find moss, which is pretty rare, and swampy soil. Those two are like the rarest items on this island. Here you can see all the items which you can collect on this island. So specific to this island are the withered trees, those two, this one, and those. And this orc pig hybrid, he will drop this as a recipe, the leather shield, and the saber cat will drop a statue of itself. And here you can see what each and every item is. This is like a recipe, which you'll get for the first time killing a super strong enemy. This will be a normal drop. And this will be a rare drop, which only drops like 10 to 20% of the time. So, and here we got Blossom Bay in detail. Here are all the items which you can find. Best island to farm grass. Just go ahead, take some items which you can craft for free, like those floorboards or something. Take it, which unlocks, I think, by completing 15 tablet targets. Then you just go ahead, look down, and collect. This is one of the fastest ways to collect grassy earth. Or any block in general. So here you see all the items which you can find. The items which you can only find here are the blossoming shrub, I think also the stalwart, the emeraldilia, and the ultramarose, and the milk blossom, the special kind, and of course the cherry blossom tree, and those pond thingies, and of course the crops, but this should be common knowledge. And the beastly burrow. So the blue orc pig kind of guy, he will give you the recipe for leather armor, and the ghost will drop a statue of itself. On to Iridescent Island. Let's see what we can find in detail. So here you can see all the blocks which you can collect from this island. So the lava stone you can only find here, and basalt you can also only find here, and of course the red dye and the green dye, and synethium. It's exclusive to this island, and I think maybe clay, although maybe also on sunny sands. And here you can see all the items, which are not very many. I think maybe because of the ore and all the high mountains on there. For this island, coffee beans are exclusive, the burning rock, the rocky column, the rock pile, and the earth pile, and the slime spawn. These ones you can only find on this island. So the cloud will drop this recipe for first defeating it. The guy that looks like the statue will drop itself. The stone golem, he'll be on top of I think those chalk mountains. He will rarely drop those splashing stones. And the dragon warrior will drop those pieces. On to Sunny Sands. So as I already mentioned, those are pretty exclusive to this island. The Stony Soil, those also. And maybe these, although you can also find them on the Isle of Awakening. Then Siltstone, Malachite, and the other ones you can find like anywhere. And Mithril and Diamond is also pretty exclusive. And I think also Silver maybe? Maybe also on Iridescent Island. And then you can also find white dye and blue dye on this one. Here are the items. If you slice up the top part of a cactus, it will pop out a seed, which is this one. Then you can find palm trees on here, the pampas grass, the fibrous fern, the prickly peach cactus, the normal cactus, the vine apple and the shine apple, the gladiolus, the sunflowers, the fan fern, and of course the crops, chili pepper and sweet corn, and bananas. Almost anything is exclusive to this island. Stalagmites and sizable stalagmites. And then the glumgus and the giant mushrooms. Those are all exclusive to this island. So the king slime will drop the Cloak of Evasion the first time you defeat it. Then this macho man will always drop the supersized steak. Then the goodie bag will drop a statue of itself. And the copper or earth golem, he will drop the Cantlin shield, which is a pretty rare item. Yeah, very, very neat. Then we come to Rimey Reef in detail. Here you can find those giant pine trees, which drop dark bark and teal leaves. Then those broken stone wall pieces, which are inside the ground, over there. Then witchgrassy earth, but it's not exclusive to this one. I think also the Defiled Isle has it. Snow, also in Laguna Perfuma, but ice is pretty exclusive. And battlefield earth. And the magic crystals, pink dye and yellow dye. And here are all the items. Those are all exclusive, like the ice lolly, the floating flower petals, the snowman, the tattered banner of Erdrick, the banner of Hagen, the red flowers, the scarlet tulips, the freesias, yeah, Goku would be proud, the burnt branch, the torch tree, the two crop types, leek and potato, the magic outcrop, the hot spring border pieces, the splinters, the pebbles, the night oddments, yeah, and I think that's it for this island. And the silver killing machine will drop this falcon blade the first time you defeat him. This one can be transformed into the most powerful weapon in the game. Just search for it on YouTube and you should find a video about it. Made by me. Then this berserker is dropping a statue of itself. Also the stationary statue. Wait, why do I have two? And the dragon warrior drops some meat and some leather or scales. On to Laguna Perfuma. This one is also good to farm grassy earth, but also good to farm marble. And this is one of the only islands where you can find mossy bark, like all of those pieces. And black dye and purple dye. And exclusive to this island is the oversized shrub, those leaves, those lush leaves, the black bell, the purple lotus, and the silver birch trees, the cotton plant, the rose, wisteria, the hollyhock, and those crops, the butter beans, heat roots, melons, and the splashing stone. But it also drops from this guy over here, the iron golem. Or the stone golem. On to Coral Cay. Here you can find not many unique blocks. I mean, the bubbling sea sand you can find like anywhere. And you can collect it if you have the Alta Mallet. This hammer enables you to collect all the items the way they look in the game. And this is the best place to farm rubies. Under the sea. I would recommend to make some fish and chips. You'll need some fish, potatoes and oil. And then you are as fast underwater as you are on land. And here you can see all the items. Those are exclusive. And almost anything else. From here on out. All the corals in all the colors. The clamshell. And the capsized crate. So, let's see. What merman drops what? I think the green one drops those two. The purple one will give you the recipe for the Thanatos shield. And he will always drop the disfigured throne. And sometimes he also drops salmon, I believe. Then I think there's a blue one, and he will drop a model of itself. Then you have also the golden golem. He will give you the silver shield recipe. And occasionally he'll drop the crash card. it's not very good. I mean, it's fast, but not good. On to the Defiled Isle. Here, Ash is exclusive to this island. Also Poisonous Peat and Bonestone, as I said before. Bloodstone, and is also good to farm Witch Grassy Earth. And only on this island you'll find Magnetite and Orichalcum. And here are all the items: Infernal Ivy, which grows on top of those little hills. The Tingleweed, the Blighted Branch, the Poinsettia, Witchgrass, Bogwort, Septic Shrub, Shadowgrass, Crag, Colossal Crag, the Pebble Pile, the Tethered Tent, the She Slime Spawn. Yeah, and that's what you can find on this island alone. So the Troll will give you this recipe for killing him. And this one you want to equip and change its appearance at the dresser with the one of the Falcon Blade. And then you have the strongest weapon in the game, which is this one. The King Metal Slime will always drop a crown, will give you a recipe for the first time for spiked armor, and occasionally he will drop the Sword of Kings. And on to the last one, last but not least again, the Unholy Holm. Oh, and the color looks perfect now. Here are all the blocks you can find. Those one are exclusive. Strange Sand, Sanguine Sand, Sanguine Sandstone, Sanguine Sandy Sandstone, Sanguine Cinders and Scales. And also, if you defeat those ants, they have a rare chance to drop Bloodstained Soil, which is also a pretty rare item. Then, all the items on this island. Those are exclusive: Floating Fragments, the Huge Horn, Terrible Talon, Titanic Top Teeth, Big Bad Bottom Teeth, Humongous Horn, Freakish Fin, Enormous Eyeball, Twisting Tail, Booming Poxglove, Budding Poxglove, White Vile Vines, Small Vile Vines, Long Vine Vines, Upwarding Pointing Vile Vines, blah 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 blah. Yeah, all of those are exclusive. So, and for defeating the dragon, he will give you the Erdrick's Sword for the first time killing him, the recipe. And then the statue guy will give you the Whaleless Mail for the first time killing him. And occasionally he will give you the Evil Idol. Yeah, and this floating guy on top of those mountains, he will give you the Pocus Puppet statue, a statue of itself. And if you haven't seen the video, you can also farm those skeletons, those turquoise purple ones, and they have like a 1% chance to drop the Thunderbolt Blade. But this one you can also find in the last chapter of Dragon Quest Builders 2. Yeah, and I think that's it. I think I'll also post some pictures at the end of this video and down in the description of each and every island, so it helps you to find every material you need to complete your item list, which is this one. Let's go through it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, but that's it. I hope you had fun, and I'll see you in the next one. So have a good day, morning or evening, or a very good night. Bye!